Hi guys, thanks for checking out my video. I am going to walk you through some exercises on sciatic pain and stretches that you can do if you are pregnant and experiencing these same symptoms. So the first one here is the birthing ball. It takes a lot of pressure off of your sciatic nerve and your hip joints. It feels amazing. So I'm doing hip circles here. It feels incredible, and anytime you actually just want to sit in your apartment, in your house, I recommend just sitting on a birthing ball versus a hard sofa or a lounger. So I'm going to turn to the side here so you can see the different side-to-side swings. So these aren't just circles. It also gives you a little bit of a massage in your glutes. It really feels amazing. Next, you can either take a tennis ball or one of these little balls with the spikes on it. I do prefer the actual tennis ball. This was a little bit sore with the spikes. And you're going to roll this through your glutes to get really deep into that muscle, into that tissue where you're experiencing this sciatic pain. So just gently roll it around. When you find a spot that's really tender, then just hold it a little bit longer. Release into it, breathe into it, let it go deeper. The holding squat. So if you do a few squats, I recommend holding for about 10 seconds. You're getting a little bit of toning exercise, but you're also releasing your glute muscles. So I have my hands placed on my knees so that I can take off some of that pressure. And on the last squat, you'll see I'm going to raise my hands together, stretching out my spine, easing the pain in the lower back. Moving on to cat, cow, and tailbone wag. So this is the same as yoga. You want to be careful not to overstretch your belly when you arch, especially if you are carrying large as I am. So you can see that arching is very minimal, but the curve and the arch releases all the different muscles in your back, and towards the end you'll see me slowly wagging my tailbone, my pelvis, and hips side to side. This feels amazing. Really take your time with these exercises. The leg overstretch. So I'm crossing my right leg over my left. I'm going to flex my left foot. I'm making sure to sit up nice and tall, so I'm elongating the spine, pressing the tailbone outwards, and slightly pulling that knee and my ankle into my chest, making sure not to over torque my shin. I'm keeping it in a straight line, so we don't want any knee injuries. Sitting up nice and tall, pulling it lightly into my chest, and you will feel it down the back of the leg and into your glutes. One leg might be more tight than the other, but just make sure to do both sides regardless so that you're balancing out your body. The butterfly stretch. This is a nice and simple one. Soles of the feet are together, sitting up nice and tall again, lengthening the spine and the tailbone. It's a little bit more of a challenge with the belly, but walk those hands as far forward as you can, keeping a flat back, not letting it curve and concave. And release the knees down with the gravity into the floor. I like to rock side to side with my knees. Maybe add a little tap out on your sciatic nerve in those glutes. And we're moving on into a straddle stretch. So this is going to be great for a few different things, but it also does help with sciatica. This is going to help stretch your upper hamstring, the side of your torso as you stretch to the side. Make sure that you're not crunching that side, that you're really lengthening and reaching outwards. This is going to help reach the upper hamstring where it attaches into your glutes a little bit deeper. And just lightly walking it forward, Again, with the belly, you won't be able to go quite as far. And releasing the legs, we're going to go into a spiral stretch, but we're taking the spiral out of it. Obviously, we don't want any twisting action with our bellies. So I'm sitting up nice and tall, pulling that knee into my chest and still getting a nice stretch in my glutes. Going in the same leg on the right into our box stretch. Make sure your bottom leg isn't tucked in too deep into your body. You want to make sure it's spread out and you're making a nice squared shape. Drop the knee as far down to the foot as you can. It might not go as low as mine, and that's okay. Make sure that your top leg is being crossed all the way over that knee. So this is the spiral stretch on the left. And then I'm going to scoot out my bottom foot. There it goes. Place that knee on top. Make sure my ankle bone is all the way on top of my other knee. Keeping my back nice and flat and slightly leaning it forward. As you're doing all of these stretches, make sure you're breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth. And last, just to wrap up a little stretch session, go ahead and open up into a small straddle second. Walk those hands forward onto the floor. We're going to take it over to the right leg. And over to the left leg. You can bend your knees to go a little bit deeper if you would like. And slowly rolling it back up to standing. Thank you guys so much for joining me.